Yes, guys, welcome back to SFeatleyTV. We're here for probably the last episode of the season of the Rest View, and we've got my resident referee and member of the 1892 Reds podcast. I got it right this time. Luke Burns, right? You know his brother from the DNF1 podcast as well, but right, he's here to talk just not about like Liverpool's end of the season and pretty strong season as well, and just talk about the Rest View as our resident referee as well. How are you doing, mate?
I'm all good, happy. Relieved that Liverpool finally got into that top four spot.
I'll bet you.
The last 10 games have just been draining, but Liverpool have got over the line. We can look at next season. Hopefully, we had some good news today. Konate looks like it's going to be a done deal. Onwards and upwards for Liverpool for next season.
Yeah, I'm just going to get to the comments just in a sec. I've just got to put this to try. No.
I won't read out that name for the first.
Yeah, I won't read out that name. But hi, Stephen. How are you? But mate, by the way, right, I'm not going to read your name out. Too, you spelled my name. It's a V, not a PH. And like I said, you've got to try harder than that. You've got to try harder than that. Thoughts on Man United penalty against Wolves? Penalty on no. I'll read your comment out, but I'm not putting your name up. So there you go. So thoughts. We'll get to that in a minute. So, well, actually, no. We'll start there since you asked. Man United Wolves. The penalty claim by that was given a penalty in the end by Mike Dean, I believe, is the referee of that game. It's got to be a nailed-on penalty, isn't it?
I understand why he didn't give it in live play, to be honest, because Van der Beek did go down a bit theatrically, but going back to the VAR, I mean, obviously that's what it's there for, and they've got the decision right in the end. There is a slight bit of contact with the foot, so right decision for me. Penalty for United, as hard as it is to say.
I mean, honestly, it's that I do feel that. What I'm trying to say, do you feel that players have to do that a lot more these days because they don't get decisions? Specifically,
I see what you mean, mate. I see what you mean. I think with VAR is always going to help them because, any sort of bit of contact, like the referee's always going to have a think about it.
The thing is that sometimes if they stay on their feet, the money will get looked by VAR.
Salah went down in the second half. He should have been booked for diving. It was just purely, simply, and clumsy from Salah. We'll get to that later on. But there's been a few times with Mane, for example, this season where there's been, I think, 3 or 4 incidents where he's had contact in the box, but he stayed on his feet. So it's there's times it's if you go down, then we're going to get a penalty. I remember we played Chelsea. We 0-0 first 10 minutes. He got tugged by Christensen and stayed on his feet. If he goes down, it's a penalty. So, I do see what you mean. I do think Van der Beek's clever doing that. And, it is a penalty at the end of the day. So yeah.
That's the thing, is when people blame him for going down so easily, it's well, what do you expect? I mean, some of the decisions they get is because they only get because they go down. If they actually make an effort to stay up, they actually get punished by not getting the penalty they actually duly deserve. So, and so I hear that definitely. And Shane, United. I'm now watching the United Way documentary at the moment. It came out on Sky Docs at 3 a.m. so I recorded it. The first part was very good but sad. It's all about the Busby Babes. The first part was about the Busby Babes, and I'll definitely actually might watch that, to be honest, because I'm as much as I'm an Arsenal fan and a big rival, I'm also an football fan. Even about the Ferguson thing that's apparently coming out in cinemas, I'd actually like to go and see that, to be honest. But the official Y1B, hello lads, hope you're doing well, mate. And we're going to move to obviously the battle for the top 4. There's any decisions that you saw in your game that you wanted to pick out? Because I looked at the match of the day, there wasn't really anything there that they could have looked at, and I know it was very small highlights because it was a lot of games had to be looked at.
No, I think the Liverpool game was quite clean, to be honest. I think 2 goals fully deserved. There wasn't really any sort of major incidents where the referee would have to have a look at. It was quite a clean game. There wasn't really any sort of late tackles or anything like that. There was a small incident, I think, with Ayew. He was already on a yellow card, and then he went in for a challenge. The referee gave him a bit of benefit of the doubt. It could have been another yellow. It is one of those, I think, if he was not on a yellow, he would have had a yellow. But I think because he was on the yellow, it was like, look, you're on your last chance. But
yeah,
I think apart from that, the Liverpool game probably. I mean, I mentioned about Salah last 5 minutes. He went down like he got sniped. Like he always does at times. But yeah, I think apart from that, there wasn't really much in the Liverpool game to look at.
The wing.
Yeah.
Sorry. I hear that. Just quickly from as one about Liverpool, how do you feel this season has been? Obviously, it's not probably the season you were expecting coming into it as champions, and I'd say despite getting top 4, it's been a sort of a disastrous season, maybe in some sort of words. I mean, you had a lot of injuries, but how would you sum it up?
I mean, of course, like when you're going to any campaign as defending champions, it's obviously the first time we've done it for a long time. It's not something that you really imagine to finish 17 points behind the lead at like the champions Manchester City. Congratulations to them. But at the end of the day, it's not the season we wanted. But if you look back at it, we've had 22 different centre back partnerships this season. We've had more centre back partnerships than teams. I mean, it says it itself. We've had, the 5th and 6th choice centre back has helped us get into the Champions League for next season. Not just defensively, we've had injury problems, of course. Van Dijk, Gomez, massively, Matip, but even in midfield, we've had the whole spine ripped out of our team. We've had Thiago out for 3 months. We've had Henderson out for a while. Jota's been out. Mane's not been in good form. We've heavily relied on Salah this season, especially second half of the season. Of course, it's not the best season in the world, but to be fair, with the situation that we've had this year, to finish in the top 4, to finish 3rd, I'll take it. Liverpool, we needed to be in that Champions League, and that's what we've got. So, yeah, up and down season, but we'll be back next season. I'm pretty sure Liverpool, if we get the players fit and the players that we want in the summer, I'm pretty sure Liverpool will be back up there fighting for the title next season.
Well, we'll see what from that interview with Fabrizio Romano, if that any does come true, and we'll probably talk to him afterwards to see how the transfer window's gone from his opinion. That definitely pulled out. But if we do have to get back on the channel, of course. The official 1Y1B. We had a handball shout in our game. Tuchel was very angry at the ref after the game. To be fair, every team has had a bad decision go against them. So I can't really complain that much. And Talkman, you big up to you as always. Can't thank you enough for the work you do. And I'm sure the work he does for you as well.
Honestly, he's such a lifesaver. Honestly, such a lifesaver. He's done me and Ricky so much, and we really, really appreciate it. So, honestly, thank you very much. Like, we really appreciate the work that you've done for us.
The guy's amazing. The guy's a magician, mate. Trust me. And he always wants to talk to me about next season. He wants to get me all ready and big up, ready for next season. So, it's not probably going to please my mum and sister probably a little bit much, but there you go. Rich Sports, hi, mate. How are you doing? So we're going to go to the Chelsea game, actually. So, shout out a handball in the game. I didn't quite catch that. I caught the red card and the penalty claim, but I didn't really catch about the handball. So, Did you see the handball?
I saw it. I know what he's on about, and
you're
clutching at straws, mate. Like he's a Chelsea fan. He's a Chelsea fan. He's obviously they've lost the game. I mean, all jokes aside. To be honest, all jokes aside. Not for me. I mean, I know the situation. If you're giving handball for things like that, then the game's gone. It's just they really need to have a sit down at the end of the season and go through some laws. And one of them's the handball, one of them's the offsides. They really.
Oh, you know what we're going to say about the Tottenham one then? We'll get into that in a minute, but go on.
Honestly, I mean the Tottenham one. I mean, obviously we still
Oh, we're
sticking with
going
the
into
Chelsea.
that one. Okay,
I know
okay.
we'll stick with the Chelsea one. We'll go Tottenham in a bit. The Chelsea one. You said about the penalty and the red card. Red card's just clumsy. No, it's like, what is he doing? Like, it's not even a fact of like. I mean, he gets the foul. He knows he's there. He doesn't need to swing his arm and strike Grealish, because it doesn't matter about the if it's if it's hard or soft or whatever like that. The intent is there. Like, all he's got to do is pick the ball up, try and play a quick free kick, get the game back up and running. He's just gone and swipes at him. So, I mean, he's lucky that the next game is a European game, so he can play in that. I mean, so it's a straight red, isn't it? So I think he'll be out the first 3 games of the next season.
Yeah, it will.
So it's not good news for Chelsea in that sense, but silly decision, especially from an experienced defender like
got big
Azpilicueta.
games early in the season as well. If we've got a big game in the first week of the season, because we don't know how the fixtures will turn out, it might be all right if it's the beginning of the season. So you never know. So thanks, lads. It's cool. Nah, mate, it's absolutely brilliant, mate. So don't worry about it. The red card was fair as be swiped his hand at Grealish. Yeah, so yeah, definitely. He agrees with that one as well. Obviously the penalty. Definitely, he says there's a penalty for me, isn't it?
It just comes across him, does he? Like, he's just nowhere near the ball.
Nowhere near the ball.
Penalty for me all day long, and he's got no complaints. Jorginho, it was a silly decision. Chelsea were definitely chasing the game because they see the results going not their way. So there's a bit of frustration sort of going into that second half. But I mean, they've got away with it, with the results for them. Obviously, Leicester losing, but definite penalty for Villa yesterday in the end.
Yeah, I'm worried for the UCL final compared to City's. The way they played yesterday against Everton, they absolutely smothered them. Let's put it that way. Going to the Tottenham handball. Now I'm going to make my say on it, right? And I know the rules are all fucked up and everything. They need to be looked at, and I actually vouch for that. But my point is that if we're going on the current rules that they are, right, that handball by Kane was then led to a goal. So surely that's handball.
Yes, if
I've seen Arsenal not given goals because the handball's been led to a goal, even it's scored by the next player that scored it, which would rule out that in this case.
I just think there's so much,
because Kane handballed it, passed it off, then it came back to him and he puts it in the net.
Then it leads to a goal. I mean, the thing is, like, I agree. Don't get me wrong, I do agree. It does lead to a goal. It leads to a goal scoring opportunity, and obviously they score from it. But I think that they're so afraid of this offside, this handball rule. Sorry, what's handball, what's not. I do think it's a lot of stop start. Again, they just really need to look into this handball law for next season, because it's frustrating. They're taking goals away from. Sometimes it's accidental. Sometimes you just can't get out of the way of it. There are times it's when the ball comes at you so quickly, like, it's obviously something that you're unable to, sort of make a different maneuver to try and control the ball. If you use it intentionally, then of course, like, the goal should be disallowed. But I think Kane does. But yeah, as I said, I think the referees are just so afraid to stop, start, and give decisions. And in effect, it could have cost Leicester really a top 4 spot, really. I mean, so it's I mean, on an Arsenal point of view, of course, it's not good for them, because it's Spurs have got to go out of that, and it's not good for us. Obviously, I don't want to sort of make joke but
to be fair, they're playing Thursday on 4:00 in the afternoon, so I'm not really bothered, to be honest.
I mean, I've heard the old song. I mean, I don't know if you ever heard it. I think Chelsea sang it once before. I think they sang it to Spurs. It was a song, "Oh, what a night. We play Tuesday on a Wednesday night. You play Thursday because you're fucking shite."
Yeah, we're not even doing that now, so I don't even have that song on there. You can't really say Saturday, because they're playing on a Saturday, no?
You can watch both Corrie and EastEnders now, can't you? You've got all free time in the world.
Yeah.
No, I think, as you said, mate, I agree with you. If you use your hands intentionally, if it leads to a goal, it's got to be disallowed.
be honest, they're playing it so early in the afternoon. Even they could actually could go back and watch Corey afterwards. Yeah, if you want to put it that way. So, yeah, good luck. Send us a postcard from Krasnodar, right? Yugoslavia, wherever it is. I don't know. Like some Slovenia, Slovakia team I have never heard of. Like, send me a postcard, right, and tell us how you're doing. Smash the likes, everyone. At least, like, I don't know. Maybe what's gonna be winning? What's better to win, the Audi Cup or this Conference League? I don't know.
Well, the Audi Cup they're claiming, aren't they? I mean, they'll probably claim Kane's Golden Boot and his assist award as a trophy, probably.
Yeah, that's
they're
what
just
they're saying.
For me, I don't like to gun down teams at times, but Tottenham are just an embarrassing club at the moment. They really are. Like, I mean, I see a stat that will probably make you laugh. Obviously, it's an Arsenal channel; it would probably make you laugh, but 88 players.
It is an Arsenal, it's also a football one, but yeah, an Arsenal one mainly. But yeah,
88 players have left Spurs since the last time they've won a trophy to go on to win a trophy. Like Kieran Trippier just became the last player to do that. Like Jermaine Defoe went and done it in Scotland a couple of weeks ago, winning the league. I mean, even Poch has gone on to win 2 trophies as well. Like it's honestly, I mean, I've been through bad years at Liverpool supporting them. We're going through a good time at the moment. Obviously, this season's not been the best, but we've won the Prem, we've won the Champions League, we've won good trophies. But seriously, honestly, what is it? I was going to say before you started moaning the season too much, you did win the league last year. You do know that.
Yeah. If look at leave our book, saying
if Kane leaves Spurs, they're fucked. They really are. Honestly, mate, they're in trouble.
It's not just Kane as well. Who else will go because of it? Bale's had his the fact Bale's only comes to your club just to be just to use it as a training facility.
I mean, they're up for Graham Potter being the next manager. Like,
hey, I'd rather but I wouldn't mind Graham Potter being.
No, honestly, I know. I mean, as an Arsenal fan, I'd be very disappointed. That was me.
Like, well, to be honest, if I've always said Graham Potter. I'll just put it this way before we move on. I've already said Graham Potter. If he had a striker in that Brighton team and the amount of chances they create, they would be way up the table. I'm telling you now, because they're not that bad defensively.
I mean,
if they create the amount of chances, they just need that clinical striker.
He's a clinical striker. He's a good coach. He's a good coach at that level. I mean, we've seen managers like Roy Hodgson. They've done well at Fulham's. They've done well at West Brom's. But when they go to big clubs like Liverpool,
that's the thing. He's never done
well. And that's how I would see Graham Potter. I think he's a good coach at that level.
You do know he beat Arsene Wenger's Arsenal with Ostersons.
It's not hard, is it? But
it is Arsene Wenger.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I don't. He's a good coach. He's a good manager, like a good young manager. But for me, if you took him at Arsenal, he'd be gone within 18 months for me. I think you need.
I don't know about that. We've got Arteta, for God's sake. I mean, what else would you want? I mean, you tell me who's worse, Graham Potter or Arteta?
It's a tough one.
Be careful.
No, listen. Look, at least Arteta's won more than Spurs in the last few years, eh? But I don't know. I think
he's won more trophies, and he's only been in a job for about what? He's got no experience, and he's only been in a job for one season. He's won more trophies than Spurs.
Do you know what? Would you go after? I mean, Santo's available. Just leaving Wolves. Do you think he'd be a good shout?
If we're going to play, we're playing pragmatic football as it is, right? So I don't know why it would matter so much. So I wouldn't mind him, but for me, Rafa has always been my favourite. So
short-term fix. I think for 2 years, I think Rafa would be a brilliant manager for you.
That's what I think. And that's what we need. We need stability. We need stability at this club.
If Rafa had 2 years and got you at least challenging top 4 minimum over like the next year or two, then you could look at, if Arsenal got back in the Champions League within that 2 year period, then you could look at like, okay, let's bring in a bigger name, like I don't know, like
Yeah.
like a Simeone or something like that, because I think he would be attracted to an Arsenal if he was in the Champions League.
Yeah, definitely. Anyway, we're gonna move on. Well, actually, Man City, Everton, we just mentioned earlier, but they had an Everton penalty claim. Penalty for you, definitely.
Yep, all day long. Yellow card's the
All
right
day long.
decision as well.
Yeah. Then we move on to we move on to West Brom Leeds, which there was a penalty claim there for Leeds, which was given to Leeds in the end, with West Brom having a poor showing again, only losing 3-1. But that was a definite penalty for you as well.
Yeah,
definitely.
I tried catching it, to be quite honest with you. Like, it was just.
I mean, honestly. I mean, we all go on about handball, but if you can't work that one out, then you should just stop watching football. Honestly,
yeah, exactly. Honestly, clear as day penalty you'd ever see all week.
Yeah. Then there was the penalty claim with Newcastle as well at Fulham, which was
a bit questionable. I think
questionable actually. It's questionable actually.
I think it's enough. I think Richie's done well to get into the box, and I think he's done well to get across his man. But it's one of those when the defender's running behind him, and then the attacking player just makes that little turn, just that little movement towards the player as he's in front of him, just gets that bit of a tug obviously at the bottom of his foot. It's just enough for me. I think I probably would have given it, to be honest, but if he didn't give it, then you could probably understand as well. It's one of those that either way I think would have been the right decision, but obviously referee gave the penalty, and obviously disappointed for Fulham because they had big chances in that game.
Everyone do smash that like button, do hit that subscribe button and share button. Right, make sure to share it on your socials and smash that like button. Go check out the 1892 Reds podcast. The link should be in the description. It should be. No, it's not. I'm gonna go do that now. I don't know why I've not done that, but there you go.
Mate. It is.
It is in the description.
Yeah, it's in there. I checked it earlier. It is, yeah.
Oh, is it? I ain't seen it.
Yeah.
I didn't see it here.
Third paragraph, 1892 Reds podcast YouTube channel.
I must have changed it. So, I've changed it on there. That's why. So there you go. I'm just only seeing it on StreamYard. So, excuse me. But yeah, go and check that out. Go hit that subscribe button now. We was talking about Tottenham. I forgot to do about the penalty claims as well. First one by Older Worlds, clear as day is.
Again, another clumsy one, isn't it? Like
clumsy one.
Vardy's running away from goal. Like, just you don't
need to do it, do you? This is annoying, isn't it?
But
I hate it when they run, when the goal's there and they're running away, and then you catch them, and he's like, why?
But he's so fast, though, isn't he, Vardy? He's so clever to skip past him and then draw the foul. It's because
he knows if he skips past him like that, he's going to feel contact.
But for me, that's why Vardy's so clever as being a centre forward in that position, because he knows he's got the chance running towards him, and then as he goes away from goal, he's then thinking, right, I've got to make something out of it. If he can't get a shot away, try and win something out of it, and he's won a penalty for his team, and it's obviously he scored from it. So, clever forward play from Vardy, and definite penalty.
Yeah, then there's obviously the second one with Sanchez as well, which was just
Sanchez is giving him a 2-3 yard head start, like, to get in behind him after, and it weren't even the best ball in the world. Like, it was a decent ball in behind, but I didn't expect Sanchez to get beaten with that ball, and again just tugs him back. Again, clever forward play and definite penalty.
It's probably why Mourinho's failed at Tottenham so much, is because he's got defenders that are just shit. let's put it simply, they are shit.
Yeah.
It's like if he went to Arsenal and had our defenders, it just wouldn't work. I mean, we could look at Arsenal's game, but Arsenal was so boring. We had nothing there. So
forgot they were playing.
I forgot we were playing as well. I mean, I was doing a watch on, but I was like, I can't be asked doing this anymore. I even had some guy, the Crystal Palace one, who said, "I love your streams, but I but I'm sorry, I can't keep watching this. And I'm like, Arteta is costing me views, and that's costing me money for the charity. He's taking money off the charity. He's a bastard. I'm not happy. Yeah, this is why we need a manager change. It's not because of the Arsenal. It's because it's costing me. It's costing me channel views and watch along for the money for the charity. For God's sake, I expect a refund. Actually, that's the thing about fans back in the stadium. 10,000 fans were back at the Emirates, which is what, so about 10% of capacity, I believe, at all grounds, I believe. So yeah, it was nice to hear the fans back. To be honest, I think I got bored of that, like what they call fan audio, but. Yeah, what do you make of that? I was glad to see the fans back in it.
Oh, honestly, mate, it's been such a long time, hasn't it? I mean, obviously watching the Liverpool,
weird, doesn't it?
It does a little bit. I mean, I was quite surprised about obviously the Emirates. It will be a bit more open because the ground's a lot bigger and it's a bit more spacious. But I mean, watching Anfield at the game yesterday, there was 10,000 fans there, and it felt like there was more. Like it just really did.
I think once we scored, it made it sound like that we were there, but before that it was more the thing. It was outside the ground because of the protest.
I mean,
I did mine at 1:15. There was no one bloody there. It was supposed to start at 2.
I mean, to be honest, I mean, my personal opinion on Arsenal, I mean, with their owners, I mean, it's not just Arsenal, of course. Like everyone's had their Super League issues and all that. Liverpool, I think FSG need to go anyway, but I do think this has been happening for a number of years at Arsenal. It's not just this Super League. I mean, people buy.
Look where we are. We're now out of European football because of this lot.
And it's gonna affect him. What's his name? Like Kroenke.
Yeah, but if he finds a way of making money, he won't care.
Oh, well, but the thing is, like, I think with Arsenal, like, he knows that Arsenal, they're one of the biggest 3 clubs in England in world football. They're still within the top, say, 10 biggest clubs in the world. He knows that. I mean, the waiting list for a season ticket is a joke. I mean, you can wait up to 10 years for a season ticket. People give it up straight away. Someone will just go, all right, I'll buy it. He's still going to be making money, like not just off that, but merchandise, like people buying shirts and anything like that. The money's going directly to his back pocket.
I've already known people are saying Kroenke out, and they've already bought the shirt.
Yeah, like I just don't get you. Like honestly, I'm not an Arsenal fan, but
I don't
stop spending money for the football club because
do you know what? You see.
Look at you make 3 million a match day roughly on revenue when it's a full stadium, like tickets, anything like burgers, programs, anything like that you sell, and you're still like, you want this guy gone, and you're not helping yourself because you're giving him more money.
Yeah, I thought I had it there, but you didn't know. Anyway, I said after this season, I'm not buying another shirt.
I don't. My brother's not bought up. My brother's not bought a shirt.
I've seen that.
He's not bought a shirt for 3 years.
Yeah, I mean, I'll get him right because I'm just buying this. I bought this today. I've got this today, and that's it. That's mine. I'm not doing anything more. I'm not buying because at least I go that's towards like some sort of development for the car or something like that.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I am not buying another piece of shirt, and don't get me wrong. I look at that away shirt. I like the Cannons one, remember? I fucking like it. Don't get me wrong. I fucking like it. I ain't buying it. I'm not doing it this time. Because it's just hypocritical. It's just hypocritical. So, and I just think anyone that says Kroenke out or Arteta out, and then you got to buy the kit, stop moaning about the manager and the owner, because the owner is the problem, and he's put the manager in charge because he's cheap, right? And he's a yes man. So you 100%. Can't moan at the manager, you can't moan at the owner. Simple as that.
Fully agree.
Absolutely. And if anyone does, and they have bought the shirt, you're being very, very hypocritical. And I'll just call it out because it's hypocrisy all the time. Yes. There's not much else, is there, on this week? I mean, that's all the games played. That's all the season wrapped up with.
Yeah, pretty much. I think that.
What
Don't think there's any
say
other
about?
decisions.
So now looking at this season, all the decisions that have been mad, stupid, and which is probably the worst decision you probably think this season?
It's a tough one. That's a tough one. There's been so many bad ones. I mean, anything that's been given a Man United penalty, to be honest, that'll be up there. Don't. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, I'm going to say this out loud. I mean, Man United fans probably be watching and thinking, like, "Oh, here we go, Liverpool. Here we go." But let's be real. Everyone gets their bit of luck. Everyone gets their dislike. You know, every time people, not everyone gets their luck as always, like certain things. But for me, if I had to pick one this season, the one I think it was Tottenham Newcastle with Eric Dyer, that penalty that he got given against him. I mean, that was disgraceful. I know it's Tottenham and it's funny, but that was disgraceful. Like, Carroll heads it onto his arm. He's a yard away. They're on the edge of the box. Where can he go? Like, he's not attempting to play the ball with his hand. He's going up to try and head the ball. I know it's Andy Carroll, but he's trying to head the ball. Where are you supposed to put your arms? He's not intentionally trying to block it. He's nowhere near goal. I mean, for me, that one just comes to mind. An absolute disgraceful decision. And I'm not being funny as well. I mean, the handballs are one thing, but the offsides this season have just been atrocious. Like,
like Liverpool's one at Everton.
Oh, that for me, that
I've seen that at Arsenal as well. That is fucking level. I've seen it when it's fucking level and they say it's offside.
Level's gone now. You can't be level no more. That's it. Like, for me, there's that term is gone. Like, if you cannot no longer be level, and it's disgraceful the amount of offsides that we've seen this season. I mean, was it Bamford's one with his arm was out like that? Like, you can't score with your arm, but he's offside. I mean, Henderson.
But now they're changing it. Is that right? If say like your start stretch, if your finger is in line, you're onside.
Well, you can't score.
Rest of you's off, but if your finger, which you can't score with, by the way, if it's in line, that means you're onside.
Wenger's the one doing the VAR, isn't he? He's the one.
I told you, don't let him loose now, fucking FA. Don't let him loose in fucking UEFA or FIFA, because he fucked Arsenal up, and look what he's going to do with fucking football. He's going to fuck it up as well, right?
I mean, I generally think they should do a season without VAR next season. See how it goes.
Oh fucking hell, God!
Keep the goal line technology, because that's quite good. We've only had, I think, with goal line technology, we've had
that one decision.
We had that one decision with Villa.
Yeah.
But then VAR should have got involved, because that's an obvious error. Even though it's two different technologies, VAR should have got involved and said, right, you've made an obvious error, go and have a look.
He didn't call another penalty. There were penalties.
No chance. It's clever forward play. I'm not being funny. It's clever forward play. Any other team, if you've got Vardy in your team or any other striker that wants to try and win,
him to do it.
Like, for England in the Euros, I want Harry Kane trying not dive, but try and win penalties for England. To be quite honest with you, exactly, be clever about it, and it goes in your favour. Because I guarantee you, every team that plays England, they'll be doing the exact same thing.
But well, I did put a link in the chat. If no one wants to come on, we will wrap it up there then. But as I said, it's a quick one tonight. But yeah, it just wraps up. Hopefully, what is it? I mean, you mentioned about the handball. Nothing else they need to change. Anything else they need to change? They need to bring sort of the refereeing since because I keep saying that they need to bring a league system with the referees, and that if they're not any of these referees make bad decisions, they get relegated to the championship, and any ones that are good enough get promoted. So that's what I think. You think they should do the same?
I mean, there is. I mean, I know, there's certain levels you referee certain games, but I do think there is. Referees do get looked at. If they make continuous mistakes, and they do get.
No refs at the Euros this time as well.
Yeah, I mean, there's a reason why there's no English officials at the Euros.
Yep,
that's just simple.
But Jonathan Moss at them Euros.
Oh,
Jesus
don't.
Christ.
Paulson, Taylor, all of them. Oh.
Jonathan Moss is most, because like, I can't believe that guy. How can you not be? How can you be a ref when you're not fit enough to be able to run up and down the pitch?
Mm.
Right. I'm sorry, you're not fit enough. Right. So you look at my
I just see this. Sorry, absolute rubbish without a Spiliqueta. Absolute rubbish. He knew he was there. He put his arm
knew he
across
was
him,
there. He went straight across him.
straight across him, and he struck him. Red card all day long.
He knew he was there because he just won a free kick off him.
Mm.
Come on, man.
I'm not being funny. And with Sanchez,
don't start being a clown. Don't start being like Mikel and start being a clown. Come on.
And Sanchez, like
the previous comment you meant. The previous comment you meant earlier about Terry getting a new shirt. If Terry got the new shirt yesterday, mate, then yes to him as well, right? Then he's a hypocrite. If he shouts Conky out, he's been a hypocrite as well, mate. I'm sorry, but you are. You're backing what you want out.
Mm.
You're giving the money to give into that makes him to stay. So we need to be, and unfortunately, unless we're being united on this, right? We're not, unless you're going to be united and getting the conkeys out and not buying the merchandise, we're never going to get him out. So you can go out and shout and scream, conky all you want, right? But if you're going to buy the shirt, you're not getting him out. So that's an end of story. So, like, you just basically hypocriticizing your own argument. So
I just see his comment as well. Little slap guy is nothing. Is that violent conduct?
It's violent conduct.
It's violent conduct.
You don't put your hand on someone's face. You don't put your hand on someone.
Does it matter if it's hard or not? If the intent's there, it's like
the idea. No, the idea is if you do that, you grab something, like you grab someone. That's it. You're off. You're not supposed to do it.
Mm.
Whether it's a slap or nothing, you're not supposed to grab someone. So, I think, what was it? Benteke should have been sent off. He only pushed him, but it's a sending off because he's put his hand on him. You can't put your hands on someone.
Mm.
So,
honestly,
but that's back in the 70s. We're talking about today's rules.
Exactly, mate. That's 50 years ago. Like, so much more has gone into the games, for player safety and that. Come on. Right.
Anyway, we're gonna wrap it up there. Thanks again, mate, for coming on. Hopefully we could see you sometime next season.
Yeah, definitely, 100%.
Yeah, really definitely. We'll sort something out towards then. But yeah, I think I can go down and put my head in a bucket of sand and forget about the season until the Euros. At least
next year.
And then watch out get knocked out in around the 6th. Oh God, I'm already dreading next year with freaking Arteta. Oh, God.
And Arteta we trust.
Goodbye.
Listen, imagine you did that to Arteta. That'd be as easy as that, wouldn't it?
Oh, I wish I could. I wouldn't even bring him into the stream. It's like, bye. No. I have dignity on my channel. Thank you. Anyway, make sure to smash that like button and subscribe button. Hit that share button as well. Do go subscribe to Luke at the 1890 Red Podcast. Just give us a little 5 minutes about your channel.
Yeah, so Steve, thanks again for letting me come back onto the show. We're the 1892 Reds podcast. We are, mainly Liverpool based, but of course we will be doing stuff throughout the summer. We'll do a few things about the Euros and obviously some Liverpool transfer stuff and that. And obviously anything around the Premier League as well, we'll be doing some stuff. But please come and subscribe over. We're near the 200 mark. I think we're about 13, 14 away from it. So please come over to our channel, hit the subscribe button, and yeah, come and check us out.
Cool, and I will be putting their links in the community on a community post sometime soon after this evening. So keep your eyes out for that, and make sure you go subscribe as well because they're doing great stuff there. And if you ever need a hand, I'll jump on and help out at all if you ever need us on for a stream. Because I always like to try and return the favour. So but thanks guys as usual. and we'll be seeing you at 8 p.m. for the match reaction to Arsenal versus Brighton. If it's not 8 p.m., it's 8:30 p.m. But until then, stay safe, stay well, and we'll see you soon. Bye bye.